Yo, what's going on, people? It is your boy Asher, aka Kanjo, back again with another video. And this time we are reacting to What Culture Wrestling 10 brilliant tweaks that suddenly made wrestlers cool as fuck. Tweaks that made a wrestler cool. I'm not too sure who I'd put in this list. There's one thing actually, one entry I'll put in. That is the Gun Club. Is that the tag team name? Colton and I forgot the other guy's name. But Billy Gunn's kids. The Gun Club. I'm calling the Gun Club for now. I think that's what they're called. But yeah, they come out and they do this thing where one of them like spits water out, but he does it like a gun, like that. That's pretty cool. That's a tweak that they made. That's the only thing I have, to be honest. But yeah, let's check out this video, see who made some tweaks to be cool, and yeah, let's get it.
This lot were all smart enough to realise a little change-up was long overdue, and it was those various minor upgrades that helped transform them into some of the coolest workers in the game. I am Gareth here from What Culture Wrestling, and here are 10 brilliant tweaks that suddenly made wrestlers cool as F-word. Number 10, Seth Rollins' new tune leads to a surge in popularity. Sure, everyone appreciated his typically superb work in between the ropes, but everything from his architect to the Monday Night Messiah shtick never managed to really take Seth Rollins to the next level in terms of audience reaction. Back at WrestleMania 37 though, the star debuted a new piece of entrance music that would ultimately help elevate him to the rank of one of the most over figures WWE had to offer. On top of slowly turning up the volume on his already increasingly outrageous outfits, the crowd suddenly deciding to get in on the woes present in that updated tune unexpectedly combined to create magic, as Seth went from cackling annoyance to one of the coolest / bizarrest acts in town. Your mileage may vary on the flashy hero's silly get-ups and insistence on leaning into the deafening singing more and more each week, but on the whole, the evidence of Rollins' tune helping gradually take him from reliable main eventer to one of the most popular lads in the business is there for all to hear. Number 9, a change of hair color helps make Cody Rhodes undeniable. At no point during his first WWE run would any fan have been quick to class the son of Dusty Rhodes as one of the cooler performers.
I don't think changing his hair to blonde made him cool, to be honest. I don't really think Cody Rhodes is cool, to be honest. Yeah, that wouldn't be the word I would describe Cody Rhodes as, is cool. I don't know what word I'll give him, but cool is not one.
Fan bumping on weekly sports entertainment programming. No, and for the longest time, yeah, Cody Rhodes was also cool. Completely against adopting the same coloured hair his legendary father had sported throughout his time immortalising himself within the industry. But both those things suddenly changed back in 2017, not too long after requesting his release from and leaving WWE. Rhodes finally decided to embrace the hair colour that instantly brought back memories of his iconic late father at Ring of Honor's Final Battle pay-per-view that year. That night may have ended in defeat and the losing of his Ring of Honor World Championship to Dalton Castle, but Rhodes' surprising tweaking of his hairstyle that night only further cemented his status as one of the coolest stars working in the industry at the time. And that unmistakable hair is now a vital part of the awesome American Nightmare brand WWE jumped at the chance to bring into their universe. Number 8, Sheamus dials the physicality up to 11. Back in September, AEW's world champion MJF opted to mercilessly bury one of WWE's longest-serving powerhouses. Those comments stating that Sheamus had taken a decade to get over may have seemed a little harsh at first. But the loudmouth salt of the earth did have a bit of a point. Despite regularly colliding with some of the biggest stars the company had to offer, holding multiple world titles and changing up his character on a number of occasions, the big Irish ass kicker had never really reached the...
I wouldn't class Sheamus as cool either. What? Who made this list?
The level of super popular face
Who
or
made this
properly
list?
detestable heel. Something just never properly clicked. Until the summer of 2022. Sheamus had always been a pretty hard-hitting, no-nonsense worker, but clashing with a ring general like Gunther brought a new level of babyface intensity out of the fire-haired
Yeah.
brawling brute. With the
Which is
pair's
true.
Clash at the Castle epic briefly seeing Shamey rise to the level of hottest hero in the company. The star didn't even drastically change that much. He simply took his already highly physical style and passionate persona up a few notches. And in the process, the former WWE champion went
chest
from
is
stale mid-carder
red.
to one of the most enjoyable badasses in the
beaten.
business. Now, what was your favourite banger of the last year? Well, let me know in the comment section down below. Number 7, Randy Orton.
I'd definitely say it was the triple threat or the Clash at the Castle match with Gunther.
Embraces his new stoner pal. Despite all those world title wins, WrestleMania main events, and countless other accolades, there had never really been a moment in time when fans accepted Randy Orton as a genuinely cool babyface they could properly get behind. The Viper was simply at his best when he was effortlessly stabbing the folks you actually enjoyed watching in the back. However, 20 years into his run as part of the sports entertainment machine, Orton came into contact with a wide-eyed stoner by the name of Matt Riddle, and arguably the best one of his entire career soon began to unfold. Along with consistently unleashing arguably the most electric hot tag in the game, the Viper's subtle shift from sinister veteran to exasperated straight man was inspired. And in no time at all, the pair's odd couple chemistry resulted in RK Bro becoming one of the hottest and freshest acts in the company. Who knew that all it took to turn Randy into a legitimately over hero was a few weed jokes and a flip-flop wearing sidekick.
Once Randy Orton comes back, I want him to be paired back up with Matt Riddle. I can see Drew McIntyre turning a heel and attacking Matt Riddle, and then Randy Orton returning and RKOing Drew McIntyre to then eventually turn on Matt Riddle, like everyone was trying to foreshadow while Randy was paired with Matt Riddle. That, to me, would be sick. That would make Randy Orton even cooler.
Number 6, Brock plus cowboy hat equals money. The sight of Brock Lesnar launching another human around a squared circle will never not be awesome. That being said, the Beast Incarnate's once effective gimmick of sporadically rocking up to Raw or SmackDown, obliterating some unfortunate full-timers, and silently dancing around the ring whilst Paul Heyman did his talking for him, had worn a little bit thin by WrestleMania 36. So when a ponytail boasting Brock did make a shocking comeback on the night of SummerSlam 2021, the idea of the returning former UFC heavyweight champion once again clashing with Heyman's new client Roman Reigns didn't immediately get pulses racing. Little did fans know that new facial hair and top knot weren't the only things different about this familiar foe. During his time away, Brock had actually hilariously embraced his inner cowboy, with the still rather terrifying force of nature gradually morphing into one of the coolest protagonists in wrestling, after eventually donning a cool new hat and reminding folks that he was secretly one of the finest talkers on the roster. Cowboy Brock clearly had the time of his damn life, organically popping the crowd and showing the world how effortlessly he could step into the role of undeniably awesome babyface. And it was a hell of a ride while it lasted. Number 5.
I wouldn't say the hat made him cool. I would say the hairstyle and the beard made him look cooler. But the hat, I ain't gonna say he made him look cool. Sorry.
Bobby Lashley brings in
Sorry,
new
not
management.
sorry.
Another formidable former heavyweight MMA fighter who was in need of a bit of a change-up heading out of the surreal WrestleMania experience that was the 36th show of shows. Bobby Lashley was in a strange place back in mid-2020, and after losing to Aleister Black in an instantly forgotten match at the Performance Center event, the powerhouse eventually decided to consider a change in management. At this point, the former United States champion was being aided by his on-screen wife, Lana. But that bizarre partnership on the
That storyline of Lana, Bobby Lashley, and Rusev was nuts. Rusev and Lana are actually married in real life. They're an actual thing in real life. Right? I don't care how much money you're paying me. There's no way I could act or play out scenarios of my wife sleeping with another man, and then I have to watch or react and play out these scenarios while watching on the big Titantron of my wife in bed with another male, to then see them kiss. And yeah, nah, the way they would kiss when they had the storyline was madness. I'm not gonna lie to you, I couldn't do it. Rusev, hats off to you, bro. Hats off to you, bro. Hats off to you.
The back of an equally odd Rusev love triangle hadn't exactly
no
helped
way.
reignite the
Bro!
floundering Titan's career.
Bro!
Lashley had finally had enough
Bro,
by the
look at the hand placement. All up in here. All up on here. Are you crazy? No way. No way.
time Lana accidentally
No
cost her
way.
hubby a WWE Championship match
No
against Drew
way.
McIntyre at Backlash.
No
and the
way.
star opted to file for divorce soon after. That's a hell of a reaction. The ending of that relationship ultimately kicked off a chain reaction which led to the forming of a little faction by the name of the Hurt Business. And it wasn't too long before this cool, suited and booted unit were draped in gold. With that time bulldozing the roster, helping set the stage for Lashley to finally take his place as WWE's next main event prize fighter.
Yep.
Number 4, Athena's attitude adjustment. Throughout her career, Athena has always been one of the most explosive and exciting workers on just about any roster she's found herself on. And that was certainly the case when she finally arrived in AEW after being released from WWE in 2021. However, despite definitely still showcasing flickers of the fiery performer within during those early days on the All Elite products, the one-time Ember Moon still seemed a little lost on the back of her rather underwhelming final days in the world of sports entertainment. Athena as a violent babyface was fine. However, it soon became apparent that a slight change in attitude could offer her the chance to finally re-establish herself as one of the most captivating personalities working today. After suddenly and shockingly snapping on Aubrey Edwards during a Rampage battle in November 2022, Athena gradually exuded a more sadistic energy and began acting like a little snarky a-hole in her own words. That revival of her American Joshi hard-hitting bad guy approach hasn't just led to her becoming the current and rather vicious Ring of Honor Women's Champion, it's also made her one of the coolest villains in the game and made every one of her brutal defenses a must-see event.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't seen much of Athena. I don't watch that much AEW. But when I have watched AEW, I haven't seen Athena on
3. Miro bins off the games. Rather than arriving in town and simply being pushed as a charismatic wrecking machine, the one-time Rusev showed up in AEW as Kip Sabian's best man. And the two spent more time tapping away on video games than taking the company by storm. Thankfully, Tony Khan had the sense to finally let Miro ditch the video games and his odd alliance with Sabian in April 2021. And with a few tweaks to his overall presentation, God's favorite champion soon set about dominating just about every soul put in front of him as one of the company's greatest TNT champions to date. Miro himself admitted to that initial gamer gimmick just not being true to who he was as a person. The Redeemer, though, was a savage character that finally felt like the chance to show the world what the former WWE star was really capable of. Number 2, Roman Reigns ditches the vest. The big dog always possessed the potential to one day become the biggest star in the industry. His progress was just largely stifled by dreadful dialogue, frustrating booking, and an anything but cool overall presentation. Back when Roman Reigns was fighting alongside the other Hounds of Justice, that tactical vest and thunderous da-da music worked a treat, sure.
Yeah.
But while the rest of the wrestling world moved on in the 6 years that followed the infamous Shield breakup, the regularly rejected face of the company wasn't allowed to drop the same increasingly stale look he'd been sporting for almost a decade. Then, after years of folks crying out for a change, Roman finally shed that outdated Shield tribute look and debuted an absolutely ripped torso at Clash of Champions 2020. The returning Tribal Chief's long-awaited shift into arrogant heel territory obviously helped him rise to the level of most compelling figure on wrestling television too. However, it was the visual tweak of that much-needed vest dropping and addition of his operatic new accompaniment whenever he wandered into an arena that really kicked off Roman's reign as the coolest villain of the modern era. And number 1, the Guns upgrade their entrance. Throughout much of their time as one of the company's go-to jobber units, and even after shockingly beating the Acclaim to win their tag team gold, the Guns would often burst onto the
Colton and Austin Gunn. That's the names. My bad.
the stage and flail around like a pair of unruly kids hyped on Haribo. In a move that instantly made the AEW duo feel like a bit of a big deal though, that arrival was completely overhauled heading into their championship match with FTR on April 5th's Dynamite. Adding 50 Cent's Many Men tune to the mix for the night, the cocky unit simply stood back to back with mist in the air as a camera panned around them. Simple but oh so very cool. In fact, it didn't take long for AEW fans to start classing this as perhaps the coolest entrance in the business, even without 50 Cent's men. With Austin's Triple H-esque water sprays as he fired off his finger guns being another smooth touch. With one masterful tweak, even these dweebs managed to rise to the rank of undisputedly cool. And that is our list. Know of any other brilliant tweaks that...
Great video. I just feel the title should have been different, because some of these things aren't cool. I would have changed the word, but yeah, great video.